Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So back on No Man's Sky, last time we were looking at the Batcave. I've done some more work on that, so I've got to show you. Just a few bits and pieces that I've done, some new stuff. So I've decorated in here a bit more. I've also done, I've done that before, but this is new. So just a little corner here. I've put a load of sort of decoration pieces down in this area down here now. Looking kind of cool. I've actually just got the Galactic Trade Terminal unlocked. So I might incorporate that down here. I'm going to have a look. I've laid out this new room. So that's going to be where the Vikian's going to go. The gun guy. And just done some bits and pieces down here, put the pieces down, put some decals on that, put a pipe up there. It just kind of felt like that actually worked quite well. I've done some work through here. I'll show you this in a second, but that goes through to the Roman Bay, as you'd seen last time. I've actually just noticed how horrendously these lockers are lined up, so I will probably have to fix that, but they're looking kind of cool. And so let me show you what I've done. So I'm not going to show you all the way through there yet, but something I'm working on through there as well, through the end of that corridor. But so in order to get this right, I ran into a bit of a problem here because if you notice those, they don't actually look too bad. I'm kind of okay with those, but that is the floor from up where the vaults are, and as you can see, it's slightly lower than the size of one of these rooms. And originally I actually wanted the Vikian's room to be here, but I just sort of thought when you come into I run this way most of the time, and it's more interesting this side than it is over that side, and also you just end up with the floors different and stuff over here, and I didn't really want to move all this or have to mess around with it, and also there's not actually a lot of space because if you look under here, I didn't really want to take any more of the terrain away, so I just kind of put it over there, but that ended up with some problems of its own, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, surrounded this with some rails, had to do a little bit of fiddling. Not these aren't quite perfect, I'll probably come back and place that one again a few times, but because I've sort of done a combination of things here, so if you look over there, for example, there's a little gap. There's a little gap because you can't get two rails and even the 2.5 kind of rail things, or these are the half walls, exactly the same size as these. This is one of the things I've sort of said before about the building in this game. I like it and love all these pieces, but again, they sort of missed a trick slightly by making not making things either kind of uniform in size or give us the option, give us more options for sizes and things. I sort of feel like it wouldn't be that difficult technically to allow you to resize this object on a mouse wheel or something, like just to grow it. I mean, it's pretty simple texture, but yeah, what do I know? So what I ended up having to do, this is actually what the motivation for this pipe was, because I couldn't get the rails right. That's going to kill me every time I look at it, so I will definitely fix that. I couldn't get the rails to line up right, and so ended up with this little gap here. I was like, well, what do I do with this little gap? And it's really obvious when you come in from over here. Well, it was really obvious when you came in over here. So I put this little console there, and then I thought I'd put this pipe down, and I've used the pipes in a few places, kind of like them anyway. And these are supposed to be, I'm sort of using these as service pipes, and these ones are sort of different. That's what my brain's telling me anyway. So I've taken all this floor out, and I ended up having to redo a load of the floor out here. So obviously we're now standing on top of what are these called? The small rooms. We're standing on top of one of these small cuboid rooms, and in doing that, I kind of ended up with this sort of separate level. So if you if you remember from before, I had everything was in this paving. So it's actually not too bad, because I don't know if you've noticed this in watching the videos before, but I had to have ramps on these two doors, and actually even with the ramps I still had to jetpack in through the door. So it actually works better now because I can just run. So let me show you what I've done in the Roma Bay and this little access to it. So I don't think I had done this. Oh yeah, in the last episode I started to tunnel through this, didn't I? And I had it go straight. And I actually decided it looked better if it kind of came out down on ground level in the Roma Bay. So I tunnelled this out and I've put a stairway in. I think I mentioned this before, but you can't put the stairways on the solid blocks. So what you have to do is drop the floor, put a ceiling down, and then put the ceiling on the stairs down onto that ceiling. I have loads of glass, like I'm making loads of glass all the time. So, and I just kind of like being able to see the rock. So I just sort of line this all out in glass, and then this comes down at ground level, and then this is the access into the Roma Bay. So, and I moved that door. Didn't actually realise you could do that, but you can put the doors into the component pieces, the basic components. You can put doors in, and maybe you can put windows in. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's now my way through. Goes back through to the main base, and then you saw this in the last episode with the dome. I did paint it all. I think I said I was going to do that. I prefer this. I had the black and red before. I prefer this now, actually. And then what else have I done? The only other bit I started kind of fiddling around with was this. So I tunnelled out from the other side. I kind of tunnelled out this little viewing section, which I thought kind of looked cool. I've considered putting a door in. I might put a door in. I might actually just put a little seating area out there or something. But this is going to be like a little lounge area, I think I decided. So yeah, that's looking kind of cool. Just to update you on kind of, and I'm going to move in the Overseer and the Viking and decorate those two rooms. So Overseer's going up there and the Viking's going down there. But just to update you on terms of the terrain, I think I'd said in one of the previous episodes that I was getting a little bit worried about terrain respawn, and I did have a bit of terrain down here that was kind of had been lingering around for a couple of episodes, and then I had another bit up here. There's been a couple of patches since I started this build, and it seems to have got better. What I've noticed sometimes is that when I run into these domes, there is terrain in them, little bits of terrain, but as I run into them when I've just first loaded in, that terrain despawns. So that's obviously they've done programmatically to kind of get around it. I don't know if that's the kind of final solution. But what I have also noticed, and I don't know if this was here before, but if you look in that, menu where it says L-shaped corridor on the right hand side of the screen there, and it says base uploadable with a little check against it, and then base terrain edits, and what looks like a little like a progress meter. So I think that is telling me that I am 3/4 of the way through my allowed limit of base terrain edits. If you know that is the case, or you have read that somewhere, or you've seen that, then let me know in the comments below, because obviously that's kind of would be an interesting measure to tell me how kind of much more I can do and play with this. I actually don't think that's too bad, because I think I've done a lot of the major excavation work. So yeah, let me know if you know that, guys, for a fact. So yeah, so next I'm going to kind of I'm going to bring these two guys in from their rooms out there, and eventually I've got to probably going to incorporate my teleporter at some point, and this large refiner needs to come into this main base as well. A couple other bits and pieces that I'll probably bring in at some point. I still haven't really decided what I'm doing with out here. I think this is going to be, I think I had sort of decided this was going to be like guest quarters, just sort of accommodation, just to play around really. So yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit, guys, when I've done some more. Hey guys, so I thought I'd just bring you back actually for something, just to show you what happens in this game. So I have put the Viking down, no problem, downstairs. I've decorated his room. I did it sort of slightly darker colour, a bit more sort of rugged and stuff than the other rooms. It would be awesome if you could paint just one surface of these walls, but you can't, because I don't want the floor above to paint that colour. But never mind. So just wanted to show you how you end up in a kind of rabbit trap in this game, and this is because of just kind of weird things. So this game hasn't ever proposed itself as being anymore. From what I understand, it's not being called in early alpha or early access or anything. So I'm trying to put my overseer in this room. So I prepared this room, I've had it built for ages, this was where he was going, but I come to do it, and for no real explanation why, I can't put it down in here. Now I've worked out, basically because I've played this game now a bit and I've done quite a bit of building, but there are weird things that happen when you have the rooms. Like, there are just inconsistency in these rooms. So the thing I said to you about the floor before, like, why would you not be able to place a stairway there, but you can place it there? Now, the reason that is because for some reason it will let you place a stairway between on a ceiling, but it won't let you place it on a solid block. So there's no reason in my head logically that you shouldn't be able to place a stairway from this block here up to this block here, but it won't let me do that. This is the same sort of issue I'm facing here, but in reverse. So I can't place this down on this piece because this piece is a floor, and the reason it's a floor is because I have it open underneath, and I wanted that open so I could have that room. So yeah, it's not that complicated what I'm doing here. So so you end up then going, okay, well then I need to grind out some more ferrite, put another room down. So put another room down in there, put another room down in there, opens up this wall. Okay, well so it doesn't look like there should be anything clashing there. It lets me put a solid block down there, so I'll put another pure ferrite wall in there, an inner wall. Can't do that because apparently that's clashing. So you take that out, and then you end up putting the wall back in, and then I have to go around and repair, go back and put that back in over there. So it's just lots of little, you come across lots of little things like that in this game. So now I'm fine, absolutely fine, no problem, because it will let me put it in one of these solid rooms, but it won't let me put it in a room that I've built. It's just a little bit unfortunate that they have things like that in this game. I don't know if maybe they're being ironed out, but they don't actually really seem to be changing an enormous amount about the building mechanics. Just thinking actually maybe I don't need that room there at all. Maybe it works fine like that. I just do this as a slightly different shape. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. I just thought it was. I came across it and thought, yeah, anyone that hasn't built very much in this game will have got to a point with that they've just gone, well, why is it not working? It doesn't make any sense why it's not working. And I only know through trial and error really that it's that's the kind of stuff you get. So yeah, I'll sort of repair this back up and put it back to how it was, and then I'll bring you back in just to show you the finished product. Okay, so I think we're done. I've put the overseer up there. Looks pretty happy in his little spot. Gave him a little room. Just the bits and pieces, a little carpet, another little workstation there. Little screen and a little sofa kind of chilling on for when I'm in here for a meeting. It's a bit of a shame these guys don't really do more. The scientist actually animates quite a lot, which is quite cool, and he's got stuff in his room that animates, like that arm moves. See? So that's pretty cool. But this one doesn't really do a lot. I suppose the screen does. But they're actually exactly the same. They're exactly the same model, and they don't move around or do anything, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I'm happy with this. It's looking cool. So yeah, Viking's down there, because he's the antisocial one. And then the other guys are up here in their offices. So I think that's it. Just a little photo mode. Where can we put the sun? Let's put the sun up there, probably better. So yeah, so a little fly around. There he is down there, chilling. I did some lighting as well for him. So yeah, I think that's it for this one. Back in the next episode, just to do some more on the. I might do some more on the Roma Bay. I've also got this project going on behind this door over here, which is what you saw kind of leading through there. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Check out my other stuff, and I shall see you on the next one. Take it easy.